Every week here at the Garden Gurus, we get a lot of letters from people interacting with native wildlife. Now, sometimes they're really happy if possums are in their backyard, other times not so happy. There are a lot of things that we need to keep in mind when it comes to having these animals around. Now, the reason they're coming into our environment more often than not is because we're finding that their habitat is being fragmented through urbanisation. So bringing food plants into the garden and putting them in the right spot has never been more important. Hello. Kate Hill is a part of the team at Caversham Wildlife Park. And they've got a great collection of different possum species and spend a lot of time sharing their knowledge with visitors. And I thought this would be the perfect place to ask some questions about these night-active marsupials. So Kate, one of the great pleasures in life for me is to sit out the back and then spot a possum up in one of the trees, sort of making its way through the canopy of the tree. I'm lucky I've got some big trees in my garden. What are the sorts of trees and plants and the right environment that possums should have to be happy?
So you're providing natural nest boxes. So you can see behind us, the brush tailors behind us have natural hollows. So really important that they do have somewhere to nest, and then that will obviously get them away from things like roofs. So you can buy them pre-made. Places like Bunnings and Menshed have them as well.
Yeah.
But obviously if you're into a bit of DIY, you can make them yourself. Marine ply is generally best because it's nice and thick and it also doesn't swell during winter as well, but nice and high in a big tree.
And that's all about protection during the day, but they're active at night, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Being a nocturnal species, they obviously need somewhere during the day where they can rest and they're not exposed to threats in the wild.
So the two complaints, I think, are getting into roofs and also eating people's favourite plants. What are the food plants that possums are most attracted to?
So definitely rose bushes. They love them because their rose petals are nice and sweet. But things like native bottlebrush, which you can obviously see behind us as well, nice and sweet for them, and they love that come springtime when it is flowering.
So the goal is going to be to set up those food plants at the back of the garden, isn't it? So that they're not necessarily right up against the house. They can go and feed at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can use nest boxes to keep them nice and high, but definitely planting away from the house and planting all those native species as well to keep them away.
Most of Australia's wildlife is found nowhere else in the world, making its conservation even more important. So why not create your own wildlife-friendly garden and help our furry friends to coexist in a shared environment with humans?